How's it going, everyone? Welcome to the first episode on the Pro Football Podcast of the Fantasy Football Review with Alec Pecano. On today's show, I'm going to review all my fantasy football matchups from last week, give you guys that if they're still available on the waiver wire to add, and much more, and also answer your fantasy football questions as well during this show. But first, let's get to my fantasy football team. The first one I'm going to review for you today is my fantasy football team and one of my 3 leagues that I'm on NFL.com. And this team, I have as you can see by the name, I have Josh Allen and Marvin Harrison Jr. My quarterback is Josh Allen, running back Nick Chubb, who's coming back from injury, and then I have Bucky Irving, DeAndre Hopkins, Chris Godwin, Marvin Harrison Jr., Mark Andrews, Wan'Dale Robinson, Brandon Ayuk. And then on my bench, I have Spencer Rattler, Bo Nix, Rico Dowdle, Chuba Hubbard, Jordan Mason, Kyron Williams, George Pickens, Michael Pittman, and Cole Kmet. And I'm actually going to make a swap here on my bench. I'm going to make a swap here. I'm putting... So now my lineup is Josh Allen, Nick Chubb, Bucky Irving, DeAndre Hopkins, Chris Godwin, Marvin Harrison Jr., Mark Andrews, Wan'Dale Robinson, Kyron Williams. And I mean, I could put like a Bo Nix or a Spencer Rattler in there, but I'm not going to. This team's 2-4. And our main injury was Nick Chubb. He is the only guy that I have on the IR in this league. Pretty sure. Yeah, he was the only one in that league that was injured. Now we go to my second league. I'm 3-3 in this one. Team consists of Lamar Jackson, Tyler Goodson, which I'm going to take out of my lineup right now. For again, Nick Chubb. And you will see my bench. So it's Lamar Jackson, Nick Chubb, Zach Charbonnet, who is going to get subbed out for Tyler Algier. And then, so it's Lamar Jackson, Nick Chubb, Tyler Algier, AJ Brown, Christian Watson, Chris Olave. So I need to move out of my lineup. I have to put somebody else in there. Need to put Ray McLeod in there. So the lineup is now Lamar Jackson, Nick Chubb, Tyler Algier, AJ Brown, Christian Watson, Ray McLeod, Trey McBride, DeAndre Hopkins, Trey Tucker, Andy Dalton. And so that's that team. And we're 3-3 in this league. We're 8th. We make, I think, both of the leagues I've showed you so far, both leagues are the top. I think it's 10 teams make the playoffs. Top 10. It's Josh Jacobs, Kareem Hunt, or James Smith. Oh, that's a tough one. Flexed. Who's your 2 running backs right now in your RB1 and RB2? Who's Seattle play this week? Actually, I'd feel more confident going Kirk Cousins because of all the weapons he has. Not saying Geno doesn't have weapons. He does. He has DK, Metcalf, Lockett, and Jason. Ooh. Okay, so you got Barkley and Dobbins as your RB1 and 2. I'd go Kareem Hunt in the flex. And then I'd stick with Kirk Cousins because I think he's got a better chance of having a good game. I mean, it's not that I don't trust Geno, like I said a minute ago. I do trust Geno Smith, but I think I trust Kirk Cousins more because we've seen that Kirk Cousins is a very good quarterback this year. And Kirk Cousins looks like he's back to pre-injury Kirk Cousins. And I'd feel more confident. My confidence level with Kirk Cousins is higher with Kirk Cousins than it is with Geno Smith. Now we're going to take a look at the last league I'm in on NFL.com. This league, I'm also 3-3. I'm 8th. I've got Aaron Rodgers, James Conner, Isaac Guerrero, Greg Dortch, Michael Pittman, Chiga Okonkwo, Jalen Polk, and then my bench is Audric Estime, Nico Collins, CD Lamb, DeMontez Walker, Johnny Munt, and then my IR list is Jonathan Brooks, Josh Reynolds, TJ Hawkinson, and my kicker is Younghoe Koo. And then I got the Bills defense. And this one, like I said, I'm 3-3. Now we're going to take a look at the ESPN leagues I'm in. So, of course, I said I was answering questions by each other. No, I answered that question. If anyone else has any fantasy football questions, please go ahead and put them in the comment section down below, and I will answer them as I go over all my fantasy football teams. And so as you see, this last week, because my top two guys are Chris Godwin and Baker Mayfield. So I'm the God Mayfield. And I played Team Bauman and I beat him 256 to 173. And this week I'm starting Drake May, Devon Achane, Bucky Irving, Terry McLaurin, Amon-Ra, Chris Godwin, Brock Bowers, Troy Franklin, which I don't know why, but I have stuck with Troy Franklin this entire time. And it might be paying off. If Troy Franklin or any rookies are somehow still on your waiver wire available, I would pick them up and I would stash them on your bench. Because they will start to see more run as the season goes on. And then my bench here is CJ Stroud, Jerome Ford, Kate Otten, Jalen McMillan, Eric All, Sean Tucker, Xavier Hutchinson, Greg Dortch, Jalen McMillan, Kate Otten. I really don't have to make a move here. Next one is this one. Last week in this league, I was on a bye. Let's see here. Actually, that's a good trade. I like that trade. but you should have tried to get a little more value out of Kamara in that trade. You should have tried to see if you could have gotten a better running back than Brian Robinson. I do like the Devontae Smith part. I do like that you got Devontae Smith in the trade. I do like that. And for those of you that are here, not only can you ask me fantasy football questions, but you can give me advice on who I should start and sit in my lineup. So this week I play Team Newton, and I'm Wilson White 17-1, 171. My starting quarterbacks Baker Mayfield, Rashad White, Alvin Kamara, Garrett Wilson, Xavier Legette, Rashad Bateman, Brock Bowers, Cooper Kupp, and Drake May. Now on my bench, I've got Keon Coleman, I've got Cade Otton, Jalen Wright, Bo Nix, Jordan Winnington, Lil Jordan Humphrey, Mason Tipton, Kimani Vidal, and Audric Estime. Should I sub out Cooper Kupp, who is going to probably play this week, for anybody on my bench? So that's that league. We got a couple more left. This one, where I am 4-2, third place. I played Toilet Bowl last week and beat them 127-162. And this one I made a bold choice in. I started Caleb Williams, who is on bye this week, so I got to get him out of my lineup, over Baker Mayfield. And it seems like it actually paid off. So now I got Baker in my lineup. Baker, Bijan, Chase Brown, Drake London, Jackson Smith-Njigba, Trey McBride, A.J. Brown, Texans defense, and Chase McLaughlin. On my bench, I've got Travis Etienne, who is doubtful. Caleb Williams on bye, Buccaneers defense. Dalton Kincaid, Trey Tucker, Audric Estime, Eric All, with Jonathan Brooks in the IR slot. And the second to last one. This is a 4-team league, and I'm 2-4 in it, third place. I played IDJGAF. He beat me 155-133 last week. And so this is the team. So I've got Lamar, Bijan, Kyron, Marvin Harrison, Zay Flowers, Trey McBride, Devontae Smith, who I picked up off waivers last week. Eagles defense, and Chase McLaughlin, with Breece Hall, CeeDee Lamb, Brandon Ayuk, with Breece Hall, CeeDee Lamb, Brandon Ayuk, CJ Stroud, Eric All, and Xavier Legette on the bench. And last but not least, the only league I'm undefeated in, 6-0. I beat Team Crisp and Go last week by a wide margin. And my quarterback is Lamar Jackson. I got Kamara, Jordan Mason at running back, Amon-Ra, Zay Flowers, and Chris Godwin are my receivers. Tight end is Trey McBride. Running back flex is Bucky Irving, and my offensive utility spot, which is it's Kyler Murray. So then we got 3. Hold on. Hold up. We will figure this out. Fantasy football. There we go. Logged in. So we start with my Superflex. One of my Superflex Dynasty League. This one I am 4-2. I don't remember who I played last week, but they've got Justin Fields. They got to get him out of their lineup. I've got Stroud, Jordan Mason, Derrick Henry, Garrett Wilson, Cooper Kupp, Chris Godwin, Mark Andrews, Kyron Williams, Josh Downs, Demario Douglas, and Kyler Murray. And like I said, I'm 4-2 in that league. That's not what I was trying to do. Yeah. Here's my other Dynasty League. I'm 9-3 in this Dynasty League because the way we do it is you get 2 wins. If you're doing really good, you get an extra win. So this league, I have Herbert, Kyron, Dobbins, Cooper Kupp, Debo, Chris Godwin, Cade Otton, Malik Neighbors, Baker Mayfield. And then on my bench, I've got Stafford, Swift, Taylor, Sermon, Chase Brown, Tank Bigsby, Nico Collins, Josh Downs, and Mark Andrews. And Tucker Kraft. I carry 3 tight ends on this roster because I play the matchups here. If somebody has a good matchup, they go in my lineup. The other one sits on my bench. All these are tight end premium. And the last one is this team is my personal favorite. And we're 2-4. I've got Joe Burrow, Kenneth Walker, Joe Mixon, Garrett Wilson, Olave, Stephon Diggs, Evan Ingram, Mike Evans, Baker Mayfield, Buccaneers defense. We do not play with kickers. Spencer Rattler, Will Levis, who I don't ever plan on starting, Ray Davis, Carson Steele, Kamani Vidal, Rashad White, Jaylen Warren, Romeo Dobbs, and Rondell Robinson, George Pickens, Rashid Shaheed, Tank Dell, Cade Stover, Hunter Henry, Cade Otton, Baltimore Ravens defense. Oh. Stroud, Jordan Love, Malik Neighbors, DK Metcalf, Devontae Adams, JT, Deontay Johnson, Puka, Pitts, McBride, Breece Hall, Pollard, Brooks. Wait. Okay. I would go. Jay, here's who I would start. First of all, your quarterbacks. That's a tough decision you have right there. Stroud and Love. No, I would not trade Devontae Adams. If I was going to trade one of your receivers, what I would do is I would trade Breece Hall and Puka for David Montgomery and I like the rest of your lineup. That's really the only trade you need to do. Titan. Debating on starting Hurts or Baker this week. And might want to trade one to upgrade a position. I would go Baker this week. I have no faith in Jalen Hurts. And I would trade Jalen Hurts to try to upgrade a position. What does your roster look like, Titan? Breck. Brees, Pollard, Najee, Madison, Chubb. My wide receivers are Devontae, DK. Jesus. Oh my lord. I'm 1-5. I need a win now. Let's see here. Oh, there you go. I like your roster. I would try to trade. You have too many receivers. I would try to package trade DK and Pollard for Bryant. Yes, I would do both of those trades, Evan. I would do both of those trades. Timothy, Amari Cooper Hunt, and Chase Brown for Tyreek and Bucky Irving and PPR. Yes, I would do that trade. Yes, I would do that trade. Let's see here. And then we had, did we have, I think we had, Breck, Ramondre or Kareem Hunt. I don't trust that Ramondre is going to play this week. And if he does, he's not going to be the starter. So I would go Kareem Hunt. Let's see. Did I get, I think I got everybody's question. Let's see here. $4K. Yeah, I think it's smart to move on from DK. Because if you look at it, JSN's eventually going to take over that number one wide receiver role from DK Metcalf. I know it hasn't started yet, but I feel like the full-on breakout for JSN is coming within the next couple of weeks. And I think, well, you can get the value for Metcalf. I think you need to do it. Because if you wait another couple weeks and DK has, I'm not going to say he's going to have a dud, but he might have a game where he doesn't really get that many targets. I would move off of DK now. And here are some guys that, if they're available in your league, I would consider adding. If somehow Chase Brown is still out there in your league on your waiver wire and nobody's picked him up or somebody's picked him up and dropped him, I would add Chase Brown and I would feel confident enough starting him as my RB running back number 2 if I'm struggling at running back. Another guy that, and this is the stash for later in the season, Kamani Vidal. If Kamani Vidal is available in your league, I would heavily consider stashing him. And same with Bucky Irving. But it looks like it might be too late to stash Bucky Irving because he might not be available in your league. He might already be gone. Another guy to consider stashing is to pick up if he's available in your league somehow is Tyrone Tracy. Tyrone Tracy needs to be added in a lot more leagues. And if you've enjoyed this video, please leave a thumbs up on it and continue to leave your comments down below on your fantasy football teams. And I will answer them. Or even after the video is done, you can still leave comments and I will answer your questions. And you can ask me more questions tonight on the Fourth and Long podcast for college football. But that's going to, and I'm also going to say we will have more fantasy football. I'm going to try to do one of these every Wednesday afternoon around this time. as well as we will have a lot more fantasy football leagues for subscribers to this YouTube channel next year. If you missed out on the opportunity to join one this year and play against me, don't worry. There will be more. There will be more ESP fantasy football leagues to join, whether it be on Sleeper, Yahoo, ESPN. But that's going to do it for today's video. I will see everyone back here at 7 o'clock for the Fourth and Long podcast. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Peace.